Okay, so hi, welcome back to our podcast series. And today we're going to talk about something which maybe sometimes we are not so comfortable talking about. There are a lot of things which are processing in our mind about it, but we find it difficult to put across and talk about this issue easily. So we're going to look at health. So when people think of health, what do they normally think of?
Health, as I see, we are more and more advanced, in medicines, supplements, surgeries, Ozempic, and whatnot. Things have come. But if you see, the more advanced we are in medicine right now, the more advanced and new types of diseases are coming. More and more people are suffering from deadly diseases and diseases that you've never even heard of. So, yeah, it is like a dichotomy. Two things are happening at the same time.
Right, right. I see probably some of this is also because let's first of all look at where do we start to learn about health, or how do we sort of, how do we assimilate information and respond to when something happens to us. So, it could be our friends who could tell us, do this will make you feel okay, or the family members or the elders. I think ChatGPT or LLMs have become a source now to guide us. And then again, that is also a part of the collective. The doctors, the Western medicine. If you look at each part of it, where are they getting their understanding and learning? It's interesting. Then religion plays an important part. The Western medicine sees body like a machine. This part needs fixing. Do this to fix this part. If you look at the doctors again, they sort of gurge out whatever they've learned in these colleges. Uh, Again, all of us through our own experience learn a few things and try and tell the other person, do this for your health. So I think it's interesting to see how we have learned about how to respond to health as a subject, and it'll be interesting to see the perspective from an enlightened person like Osho. What is his view about it. So maybe if you can talk about that, Sindhu, and share with us.
Yeah, and as I understand from him, is to be at ease. Any disease is something is not at ease, right? So to be simply natural, to be so much in tune and at ease with nature. So, these are all fads. Even now, not only in the Western medicine, but even Ayurveda or the natural, there is such a bombardment. And anybody is saying anything. And if we say that a modern man is confused, one day you follow one thing, then you follow another thing, and you are always looking for solutions outside. But Osho is saying, okay, look inside. Listen to your own body. It's as simple as that. Be natural. In the whole animal kingdom, in the whole nature, we are also part of this nature. We are not separate. Do you think any dog is consulting a dietitian or going through any other things? They are living naturally. They are so much more connected to their bodies. They know what they need to eat, when they need to sleep, when they don't want to eat, then they are not eating. So if we as men, as a human, if we can again reconnect inside, we can really learn. We need to relearn it. This art of feeling, art of being able to listening to our body. Yeah. If the body is hungry and we are not giving it food, yeah, we are saying, okay, no, I heard this intermittent fasting or this fasting or that fasting is so good, so I'm not gonna eat. And we are already not listening to the body, not giving it what it wants. We're already creating a division now, because the mind is saying one thing and the body is saying one thing, and that division, a house which is divided will fall. It's not going to stand up. So, as I said, eating too much is a crime, and not eating is also a crime. So just simply be natural.
Yeah, it's interesting because, I mean, if you look at it, the body itself is such a miracle. There are so many beautiful things which are there. I think it'd be really hard for any machinery to meet and match whatever is happening in the body right now, all the various functions, so many things, and all happening on many of these things are happening on their own. And usually things go off when we, you know, when we start to do something about it, and then starts to go more and more out of balance. I think the way I see Osho is also saying body mind is one thing, and if there's something in the mind, then it starts to impact the body as well, and vice versa. So, and which is where the need to not look at each part as separate. So you have a headache, you try to fix it, and yeah, the medicine helps. The headache goes away, but then the symptoms appear somewhere else because the issue has not got resolved at its root. And so I'm feeling Osho is inviting us to look at this whole thing, as a whole, like in a totality. And as you rightly said, rather than going to somebody else to seek answers, start to be more present to our own bodies and be more aware of what's happening and listen to our own body to see what it needs and what it needs to be healthy and whole.
See, the physical part we are usually tackling, and there is much more awareness. Be it naturopathy, Ayurveda, food, there is so much more awareness, I would say, related to food and supplements than it was ever before. And but still there's not so much awareness about the emotional health or the mental health. That also affects your body. I mean, just coming into this podcast just a few minutes before, I was on a call with a woman from Bombay, and she wants to come for the Mystic Rose, and she's suffering. She's younger to me. We were just talking, a few years younger, and she was saying, I have spondylitis, I have severe lower back, I have thyroid for many years, I have ulcers and acidity, I cannot do this. Will I be able to do, the Mystic Rose? And I really have not, I don't remember when I've really cried. It's been many, many, many years, and a lot has happened in my life that I could cry about. So, I mean, it clearly shows on our body. At this age, moment you cross 40, 50, she's 52, and she said, all this is happening. Will I be able to do this? Will I be able to do meditation and all these processes? And, the older you get, the more fucked up your body becomes, the harder it is. But why I'm sharing this is because the emotional cleansing has not happened. The mind, the emotions, they really need also to be taken care of apart from the food that you are eating. And for that, I think meditation is the only answer, especially Osho's active meditations, his meditative therapies that clearly help you to detox.
It's interesting you say that, but if you notice, both the words meditation and medication have a common root, medi, sort of addressing that. And yeah, meditation in a way starts to help us become more aware, more in the body, more present to ourselves, and that helps us in being more sensitive to what our body needs, and maybe the body is directly trying to tell us something. The headache is trying to tell us something, And if you were to listen to it and receive that message and respond to it intelligently, yeah, that can help, maybe become more healthy, more natural, more flowing, more easily. Yeah, because I think any medication we talk of, you take something. The medicines I would have consumed 20 years back, 30 years back, and then later on research says, that medicine is not a good idea because it has these side effects. And you always learn it when it's too late. So I feel it's also safer and healthier to, if you can, yeah, address the key issue with Western medicine, but soon enough see if you can come back and fix from a long-term point of view with looking at the root issues. What are you holding back? How meditation can help you in that journey.
Simply it relaxes, basically. You know, it brings clarity, it brings connection to whatever you've been repressing. You suddenly start seeing those things. Whatever you've been ignoring, you suddenly start feeling all that. Oh my God, okay, this. And once you're becoming aware of it, then the door opens to be free from it. Then once you consciously feel and you consciously aware, then the freeing can happen. And then that can go, and then that can also help you to transcend this body mind, that to really know that I am beyond that.
Yeah.
I'm not the body, I'm not the mind. My inner shrine, my inner being, that luminous being, that healthy being, that whole being, and
Right.
that's what I am.
Right. Yeah, no, it's so interesting you say that, because that's another way to look at health, so when people come here at OSHO Himalayas, they feel very good. Over 3 days, we see their faces becoming so much more beautiful. They have good sleep. They say they got up in the morning, felt so fresh. They've never had such a great feeling in being in their body. Yeah. So,
I mean, we have just finished Satori,
yeah.
and you look at the faces of people in this
Yeah,
one week,
right.
how they're shining, how soft they
Absolutely.
are, and
Absolutely.
how well connected they are to themselves.
Right. And the interesting thing is, once you have that inside you, then that healthy being, now whether they are in our meditation hall here or they go to the marketplace, they can carry that flavor inside, that flavor of health, the flavor of being whole, natural, and they can flow in the marketplace also. It doesn't have to be a split, and that's not what we are understanding from Osho. Like, he's inviting us to be there, like be a meditator in the marketplace.
Yeah, and Osho has also given us this process, which is amazing, which really brings us back to make friends with ourselves, listen to our bodies. It's called reminding yourself of the forgotten language of talking to your body mind. And we've made a special podcast on that. I think that's a very good meditation.
Yeah.
To renew and regain that lost connection with the
Yeah.
body and mind, than to, following whatever comes your way.
Right. Absolutely. So just to say, yeah, just
Not seeking answers outside that somebody else can fix your issue or fix you.
exactly. Yeah.
Trusting your inner wisdom, your innate wisdom of the body, and trusting, that you are a nature's being.
Yeah.
That if you are in tune with yourself and the whole and the nature, then you are healed, you're whole, you're one. So taking that inward route. Yeah.
Okay. So until next time, listen to your bodies, feel that wholeness, and yeah, flow and enjoy being natural and simple. See you again soon. Bye.